Hello everyone, I'm glad you could join us today as we take a closer look at a truly remarkable weather story unfolding across Europe. Let's dive into an unusual weather pattern shaping up for late October and early November 2025 across Europe, a pattern that's catching the attention of meteorologists and residents alike. Instead of the usual crisp, cool autumn air, much of the continent is facing a prolonged stretch of exceptionally warm and wet conditions. It's the kind of weather that feels more like early spring than the heart of autumn, and it's lasting much longer than anyone expected. Imagine a conveyor belt of warm, moist air streaming in from the Atlantic Ocean, draping Europe in persistent rain for at least 2 weeks. This steady flow is bringing not just showers but a continuous soaking that's affecting daily life across cities and countryside alike. This isn't just a passing shower. Forecasts show significant sustained rainfall, a major departure from the norm. Streets are slick, rivers are rising, and umbrellas have become a daily necessity for millions. The ground is already saturated in many areas, so this continuous downpour sharply increases the risk of flooding, from sudden flash floods in the mountains to steadily rising rivers in the lowlands. Fields are turning to mud, and travel is becoming more difficult in some regions. The warmth is key. It adds energy and moisture to the atmosphere, making heavy rainfall even more likely. The air feels unusually humid for this time of year, and the combination of warmth and wetness is creating a unique, almost tropical feel in some places. What's behind this? A powerful storm recently shifted the atmospheric setup, amplified by unusually warm Mediterranean waters. These warmer seas are feeding extra moisture into the system, intensifying the rain and keeping temperatures higher than normal. These factors, combined with broader climate trends, are making extreme, persistent weather more common. Scientists are watching closely, as these patterns could signal bigger changes ahead for Europe's climate. Over the next sections, we'll break down how this pattern formed, what's fueling it, and what it means for you, whether you're planning travel, concerned about flooding, or just curious about the science behind the storm. Stay tuned as we explore the science and the risks behind this extraordinary autumn weather. There's a lot to uncover, so let's get started. Scene transition. Every major weather event has a trigger, an initial spark that sets everything in motion, often in ways we can't predict. For this extraordinary chain of events, it was Storm Benjamin, a system that would soon make headlines across the continent. In late October, Benjamin swept across Europe with winds reaching up to 170 kilometers per hour. The storm's ferocity grounded flights, toppled trees, and left thousands without power, disrupting daily life from the coastlines to the cities. But the most profound impact wasn't just on the ground. High above, Benjamin dramatically altered the jet stream, twisting its usual route and carving a new path through the atmosphere. This shift locked Europe into a stable, wet weather pattern that refused to move. Now, a deep low-pressure system over the Atlantic and a stubborn blocking high over Eastern Europe have teamed up, creating a conveyor belt of warm, moist air aimed directly at the heart of the continent. This setup is remarkably persistent. Benjamin's legacy is a relentless flow of rain and warmth that simply won't budge, drenching cities and farmlands alike. Meteorologists have been tracking this unusual pattern, noting how rare it is for such a system to linger for so long, especially at this time of year. Before the storm, Europe was enjoying typical autumn weather: cool, crisp air, changing leaves, and the occasional light shower. After Benjamin, everything changed. The continent became locked into this new, persistent pattern of overcast skies and steady rain, with little sign of relief. It's a powerful reminder. One intense storm can reshape the weather for millions, setting off weeks of dramatic change and leaving a lasting mark on the season. The stage is now set for what could be the wettest, warmest autumn in years, with rivers swelling and temperatures defying the calendar. So, what's fueling this remarkable pattern, and how long will it last? Let's take a closer look at the forces at play next. Scene transition. If Storm Benjamin set the stage, the abnormally warm Mediterranean Sea is the main amplifier. Water temperatures are running up to 3 degrees C above normal, sometimes even more, supercharging the atmosphere with moisture. Warm water evaporates faster, pumping huge amounts of moisture into the air, fueling storms. This extra heat and moisture make the air unstable, primed for powerful thunderstorms and heavy downpours. The Clausius-Clapeyron relation tells us, for every degree warmer, the air can hold 7% more moisture. So, When it rains, it pours. As the moist air flows over the Mediterranean, it soaks up even more energy before dumping it over land. Countries bordering the sea, Spain, France, Italy, the Balkans, are on the front line for intense, flood-prone storms. The Mediterranean's fever is turning a rainy spell into a high-impact flooding event. Let's look at how Europe's mountains intensify this risk. Scene transition. When this moisture-laden air hits Europe's mountains, the Alps, Pyrenees, Apennines, Dinaric Alps, it's forced upward, cooling and dumping massive amounts of rain. This is orographic lift air rises, cools and releases moisture, leading to relentless downpours on windward slopes. Some areas could see hundreds of millimeters of rain in just days. The mountains act like a squeegee, wringing out the atmosphere and focusing the heaviest rain in specific zones. Steep slopes and rocky soil mean most water runs off instantly, triggering flash floods and landslides. Hillsides can become unstable, threatening homes and infrastructure below. These regions face a double threat: water from above, instability from below. Anyone in or near these mountains should be on high alert. These scenic valleys can turn dangerous fast. Geography and meteorology are combining to create a major hazard. Next, let's head to the Mediterranean coast. Scene transition. Along the Mediterranean coast, the risk shifts to powerful, slow-moving thunderstorms. Warm, unstable air over the sea fuels storms that can form offshore and drift inland, dumping torrential rain on coastal communities. The danger? These storms can stall, unleashing training downpours over the same area for hours, leading to flash floods and urban inundation. A month's worth of rain can fall in a single day. The warm sea keeps fueling these storms, which can bring hail, strong winds and frequent lightning. For residents and tourists, conditions can change rapidly. Sunny mornings can turn into flooded afternoons. Stay alert to weather warnings. Flash floods here can happen in an instant. Now let's look at the risk further inland. Away from the mountains and coast, Western Europe faces a different threat: riverine flooding. Here, the rain is steady and persistent, not as intense in a single day, but relentless over weeks. The ground is already saturated from earlier storms, so new rain runs straight into rivers and streams. This slow, steady runoff causes water levels to rise day after day, threatening widespread flooding of floodplains and low-lying communities. Major rivers like the Seine, Thames, and Shannon could reach flood stage, impacting homes, businesses, and infrastructure. The key is monitoring. Riverine floods develop over days, giving time to prepare. Even if the rain seems manageable, stay informed about river conditions upstream. Persistent rain can lead to major problems, even without dramatic storms. Next, let's talk about the unusual warmth accompanying all this rain. Despite the rain, Europe is set for unseasonably mild temperatures. The subtropical air mass brings warmth. Paris and London could see highs near 15 degrees C, Rome up to 23 degrees. More like September than November. This warmth isn't just a side effect, it's fueling the heavy rain, as warmer air holds more moisture. In the mountains, higher freezing levels mean more rain, less snow, worsening runoff and flooding. Nights will stay mild, with little cooling, adding to the damp, humid feel. The pleasant temperatures are part of the problem, not a silver lining. This is a clear sign of a powerful subtropical influence driving Europe's weather. But what's causing this pattern to persist? Let's zoom out to the global picture. Europe's weather isn't just local, it's shaped by global forces. Two big players, a developing La Niña in the Pacific and a negative Indian Ocean dipole. These patterns shift atmospheric waves and jet streams, making stable, extreme weather more likely in Europe. La Niña favors blocking highs, like the one over Eastern Europe, locking the wet pattern in place. The negative IOD also alters rainfall and circulation, amplifying the effect. Climate models predicted a warmer, wetter autumn for Western Europe. Now, it's happening. What happens in distant oceans can decide if you need an umbrella in Paris or Rome. So, how can you stay safe during this unusual weather? With heavy rain and flooding risks, the most important thing is to stay informed. Weather patterns can change rapidly, and being caught off guard can be dangerous. Rely on national weather services and apps for real-time alerts and warnings. These tools provide up-to-the-minute information that can help you make crucial decisions. Meteo Alarm offers a color-coded map of Europe's weather risks, and the Copernicus Emergency Management Service tracks flood threats. These resources are invaluable for understanding the severity and location of potential hazards. If you live in a flood-prone area, have a plan, know your route to higher ground, and never enter floodwaters. It's essential to have an emergency kit ready and to practice your evacuation route with your family. Just a few inches of moving water can be deadly. Turn around, don't drown. Remember, your safety is more important than any destination. Expect travel disruptions, check ahead for delays or cancellations. Planning your journey in advance can save you from unexpected surprises and ensure you reach your destination safely. This autumn's weather is a real hazard. A locked-in flow, supercharged seas, and varied geography create a multifaceted flood threat. Understanding these dynamics can help you better prepare for what's to come. The best defense is awareness and preparation. Make sure you have all necessary supplies, including food, water, and medical kits, and know how to use them. Follow advice from local authorities and monitor official forecasts. They provide the most accurate and timely information to keep you safe. By staying alert and prepared, you can protect yourself and your community. Working together and sharing information can make a significant difference in times of crisis. Stay safe and keep an eye on the skies. Remember, preparedness is key to weathering any storm. End.